You are the chosen one.
Hello and welcome back to Chosen One Studios. Let's play of Demon's Crest. In this part, we're going to get to the Forbidden Tower, otherwise known as Level 4. I think we should have enough time to be able to get through both paths in this. We're going to see how far we can go. We'll start off by switching into Buster as per usual. As you can see, this level is actually the first that acknowledges that you can fly, and tries to make it so you don't get quite as much nifty use out of it. Those spikes on the floor aren't one-hit kills a la Mega Man, but they still do hurt. Those snakes just sort of stick out, but you can always see where they're going to go out, and they have a very good pattern. Those skulls are both useful and not useful. In a way, they're very much like the green platforms we saw back in level 1, in that you want to use them to get where you need to go. This you want to ride, but you want to be very careful. You do not want to let that pull you down, because if you do while you're stuck to the side, well, it hurts. This spot can be a little bit weird to get through sometimes, but we're rewarded with an urn. And obviously, that's a good thing. And we can destroy these blocks over here too. I think it's just like money, which... not a bad thing, since I will be showing off the spells. In fact, I might even be doing that this video if I don't... Okay, that was just dumb. I'm not being very smart. But that's okay before anything gets really hectic. I believe there's a heal. As you can see, the main problem here is letting them push you into the spikes. There's not a lot of enemies here. In fact, so far, we've only seen stationary ones. And getting through here, if you fly, you get pulled along. But there's no way the ground gargoyle can make it through this area. So, thankfully, we have Buster, because otherwise, those guys, we'd just be harmlessly hitting their armor, and let's be perfectly honest, harmless is not something we want to be described as. Another spot where, you want to be very careful about things pulling you down. Those dragons are not worth trying to kill with any of our current weaponry. But, as you can see, full heal. There is something right over this direction, but I find it much more worthwhile to go in this direction first. Now we're going to get our first rematch with Hippogriff. Second verse, just like the first, he's really not all that hard. He's a different coloration, which should give you some clue that he's not identical, in that his health is somewhat higher, but I'm pretty sure his damage is the same, and we have something we didn't have before in the form of Buster. He does still have the same exact attack. It's still just as easy to dodge, now that I'm not being a total dink. Ow! Or I could walk right into it. That is always very doable. As you see, you just kind of want to give him opportunities to rush towards you, but don't let him take them up. You can also just sort of hide right underneath him and you're fine. Just if he lowers down too quickly, you just want to be ready to move. Once again, he's turning colors. I'm going to try kill him before he remembers he can turn into a gargoyle. And there we go. Hippogriff is down. It's all wiggly wiggly wavy. And mini-boss is dead. But you'll notice, they realize he's a mini-boss now, and they give him what he should be giving you the whole time. Just a full heal. Now we're in this lovely little area. It's full of ghosts, walls you can't climb on, those red things, and fun platforms. This place can take a very long time if you don't know how to get through it. It's one of those places that, however, once you know its secret, is very, very simple. I realized as I was actually, as soon as I made the last video, that Tornado could help immensely here. But I'll be honest, it just doesn't seem worth the effort to keep track of when the tornadoes will disappear. And the enemies are just some ghosts and some axe goblins, so it's really not worth the effort. However, out here, if you fly, it'll carry you up, but first we have a little bit of a side area to go to. Because over here, we have a couple statues and... Do-do-do-do! The Crown Talisman. A talisman that I'll be wearing probably for a majority of the rest of the game, as it takes a while for any of the other ones to show up. Those little things there are little bomb skeletons. They sort of home in on you and smash. If you're... Oh! And those little things just move around. They're not very smart. You can also, in this area, if you want to drop a little bit, stop flying. And as soon as you start flying again, you'll be picked right back up. So be careful to let them kill themselves. They can be killed, but the Buster takes too many shots to do it. Ground Gargoyle, obviously not suited to this area. Just want to get that guy to go a little bit away. So you can grab the Vellum. And as you can see, that's where we want to be up there. We only can't get through it this way. So, come back in here. As you can see, we're already getting a little bit more money. Just to protect me from any... Ah! Okay. I'm going to break out the tornado. I'm just not doing all that great right now. Usually, I have no problem with this area. I've done it so many times by this point. Whoa, that's like the only enemy I've actually ever seen the tornado be able to kill. Yeah, as you can see, it can't even harm an axe goblin. So I think the game's telling me, take me a little bit more seriously than that, Corinne, so I'll take it up on that threat. And instead, we'll just wait till we get about here, fly up. I love the detailing on those flowers, and the nice little dancey theme it's got going on there. But here we are, it's a full moon tonight. A full moon rising, as it were. And Arma. This time he's green. Nice to see you again, Firebrand. There shall be no mercy for you this time. And there'll be no mercy for him either. I have the Buster and the Ground Gargoyle. And I'm got a lot more health. Not full health for what I do have, but still a lot more than the measly 4 or 5 health that we had the last time we faced him together. He just does the same attack pattern as before to start out the fight, swooping back and forth, shooting his small little attack. It's not too impressive. Especially since, we faced much harder enemies since. But he doesn't really seem to give us any credit for that. Don't worry, it's all a ruse. Once I damage him enough, he'll show us what his new strategy is for taking out Firebrand. Whenever he drops down, he's about to do this. So you want to switch to the Ground Gargoyle, get out a couple flames if you can, because he's about to bring out the Tornado. Just want to do, if you can, is fly over him when he does that. It does mean you've weakened him significantly, and if he hasn't hit you before that point, you've pretty much won. It does stop your fire, however, as you can see. And you really don't want him to get you when he's like that. His rematch will have a power that will completely nullify his Tornado, which will make that fight very amusing. I always love the final Arma fight. I don't rush to it because it, as you can see, Arma laughs. Can it be? My whirlwind move has been defeated? What are you? Goodbye for now, Firebrand. He flutters away and drops. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You have found the Crest of Air. With it, you can morph into a gargoyle. So I guess you weren't a gargoyle before. And soar higher into the air. And we're back outside of here. Well, there's a lot more I want to do about some going back through some areas, some stuff like that. So before we just scurry on to our next full video, I'm just going to make this one part A of 2, A and B. And we'll be right back after a cut, because I don't want this to go on too long, and I think I'm getting near the end. So just to avoid that, I also want to just check here. You'll see that little spot up there. We'll be seeing that later on when I show all the various endings, because there are a couple different endings to Demon's Crest. Right now, if you'll notice, on here we have levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, but there are some more levels. You can rush over there and end the game right now, but it's a very frustrating battle that's actually a very bad ending. But I will definitely be covering that in all the various possible endings. So, for now, I'll be saying thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, but I'll be right back with you after the cut. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll stick with us for part 2.